Nick Watt, thank you so much for staying on top of the story. Let's bring in Republican Congressman Greg Murphy of North Carolina. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. As we have reported before, Camp Lejeune's in your district, and you have been very aggressive trying to help these survivors. We spoke 2 months ago about this and a bill called the Ensuring Justice for Camp Lejeune Victims Act. Are you any closer to getting that passed now than you were a few months ago?
Well, obviously, with the looming shutdown, we're not doing anything about that right at present time. But this is now in the Judiciary Committee. All the members really have been briefed very heavily on this and what the changes are. We're strengthening the bill by clearing evidentiary standards, capping the attorney's fees, which was an issue, making sure that people have a jurisdiction really that's going to be able to handle the claims that have been heretofore just in one particular district. And they're really trying to strengthen up the bill. And so I think it's in a good place. Getting anything through Congress of this magnitude is very, very difficult. Why the Biden DOJ would not allow jury trials still is beyond me. I don't know how that got passed, but I'm a physician, not an attorney. So we've been working very, very hard on this to try to bring the people of Camp Lejeune justice. As you point out, 400,000 claims and very, very few adjudicated comparatively. As a physician, I want to see people healed, but I also want to have some closure to this also. So hopefully sooner than later.
I'm sure you've heard many, many stories like the one we just aired. Can you promise that these veterans and their families ultimately will get the justice they deserve?
Well, Jake, I can't promise anything when I'm one vote and 435 plus you add another 100. I can just promise them that I'm working very, very hard on this. This has become, I inherited this from our former congressman who had worked on it for a very long time. I was happy that it was the Camp Lejeune Justice Act was included in the PACT Act. But sometimes we have to go back and refine things for the Navy or whoever it is really to stand up and push forward. We're doing the very, very best we can. But, I personally can't promise anybody anything. That wouldn't be fair.
I appreciate your honesty. Can I just say that I just constantly find it amazing how, and I'm not talking about you, but how many ways we as a country figure out to screw our veterans. It never stops amazing me.
Well, I'd love to know who the point person who allowed all this, who knew this first at the beginning, why the delay occurred, why were people still exposed to this, and why it's not gotten hastened. That said, that's not helping the people today. That's more of an academic pursuit. I'd like to get this adjudicated. I'd like to get this put forward. I'd like to put this in the books and give these people closure. And that's what I'm working very ardently on.
Well, stay in touch with our show. We'll keep covering it until this is actually passed. I appreciate it, Congressman Greg Murphy of the great state of North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. A mayor just outside Chicago said today that the Trump administration